Now that we have done the definitions of different taxonomy level of affective domain, let us look at the relevant terminology that you may use in giving instructions or producing the learning outcome towards different levels of affective domain. There are 5 levels here under the affective domain. So we classify them from A1 to A5. A1 is the lowest level, which is related to receiving. The key point here is selectively attends to stimuli. These are some relevant terminology reflecting the level A1. Accept, acknowledge, be aware, listen, notice, pay attention, tolerate. This is often related to having the awareness of certain value, attitudes or behavior. Now the second level here, it will be responding. You have stimuli and you will need to respond to the stimuli. This shall include agree to, answer freely, assist, care for, communicate, comply, conform, consent, contribute, cooperate, follow, obey, participate willingly, read voluntarily, respond, visit volunteers, and so on so far. This is often related to the actions, responding to certain learning activities related to the affective domain. The terminology here reflects the participations, positive response, willingness to take action, and so on so forth. The next level, it will be A3, which is valuing. This involves attached value or worth to something. You may also consider this as having the right value in the right case and willing to commit to it. In order to be considered A3, bare minimum, the students will have to accept the value. The students will have to agree there is a need for the value, and the students is willing to commit with the relevant value. These are the examples. Adopt, assume responsibility, behave according to, choose, commit, desire, exhibit loyalty, express, initiate, prefer, seek, show concern, show continual desire to, use resources to, and this is the highest level, involving one single value being taught by somebody else and accepted as well as committed by one person. Beyond that, it will be the organizations. This involves conceptualize the value and resolves conflicts between it and the other value. These are the example terminologies here. Adapt, adjust, arrange, balance, classify, conceptualize, formulate, group, organize, rank, theorize, and etc. What you see here, there will be collisions of value, distinguishing, selecting, and integrating the values into one's own. That means there will be mix and match of different values, transform it into something new. Now the next level, it will be internalizing. This involves integrating the value into a value system that controls behavior. The terminology that reflect this level include act upon, advocate, defend, exemplify, influence, justify behavior, maintain, serve, and support. When a value is being internalized, that means it is fully immersed in the daily life in the broader context in a sustainable manner. There will be consistency over time, even though under different circumstances. This is reflected in one's behavior or habits, and it also can influence the others. Now that we have discussed various examples of the affective domain, let us talk about the practical side. When we talk about the higher learning educations, let's say now we are talking about bachelor degree of civil engineering. The purpose of the program is to produce future engineers. It is so that they can perform well in the industry in future. Now, what are the good characteristics of engineers that we wish to produce? We want good professionalism. We want good ethic. We want integrity. We want a person who is able to take responsibility. We want accountability. We want leadership. And we also want team working. These are among the effective parts that we would like to have among our students. In a typical bachelor degree of civil engineering program, there will be a course related to professional ethics. And we know that this course here, the ultimate purpose, it will be the affective domain. Now let us look at the mode of teaching and learning as well as the assessment method. Normally there will be lecture, probably assignment, tests, and final exam. If you look at the assessment here, specifically tests and final exam, the assessment theoretically can go up to level 2, having the ability to respond to a certain value that we wish to deliver to the students. On papers, it is nearly impossible for us to see level 3 onwards. Now, as long as the students attend the seminar or attend the lecture or course, building the awareness of professional ethics, level 1 is considered achieved. Now, as long as students is able to produce good answer, adopting the right value under right circumstances, during the test and the final exam, it is theoretically under level 2, which is responding. Now, in order to have level 3 be assessed, we will need to observe their acceptance and the commitments. They will have to adopt the right value under the right case. This cannot be adequately proved by giving the right answers during the final exam, as this cannot prove their commitment. It may also not able to prove the real acceptance of the relevant value by the students. It is totally possible for students knowing that is the right answer, providing you with the right answer without actually accepting the value, not to mention about the commitment. Now, in order for you to have level 3, level 4, and level 5 to be achieved, theoretically you will have to live with the students. You will have to observe the students, analyze and evaluate their behaviors. For level 3, you will need to observe their acceptance and the commitments towards certain value. As for level 4, you will have to observe how they conceptualize different values and resolve the conflicts between it with the other value. As for level 5, you will have to monitor over time the value system embraced by the students that control their behavior. If we really need to be very strict, in understanding the actual meaning of level 3 to level 5, we know that it is nearly impossible to have this access within the bachelor degree of civil engineering. In that case, normally I will not overpromise to have the students achieving A3 and above. Now let us discuss about the possible circumstances where you will know whether a person has the A3, A4 and A5. I guess the easiest way is to know that it will be by observing your children. You are teaching your children with some values. You live together with your children. In their daily life, you will observe their behaviors, their attitudes, and you evaluate their values. I see this is the only way that you can observe an individual towards level 5. On this basis, as far as higher learning educations, in the formal way, theoretically we can only access up to A1 and A2. This will be the limitations. Nevertheless, we are still hoping the students will reach to the higher levels related to the good professionalism and good values. We have to try our best to look into the A1 and A2, specifically their response in the A2, to foresee the likelihood of establishments of A3 to A5. Probably you could do something here. You may observe the students throughout the semester on the individual basis, or you may create some activities, observe how they behave, asking the students to do some peer reviews among each other to give you some ideas that the levels of acceptance and the commitments towards certain value. But this is going to be more challenging. You need extensive observations, and probably the data given by your students through the peer review may not be as objective. But at least you could do something if you are still wishing to reach to level 3, knowing that this may not be the full-fledged level 3.